Welcome to the City Show. Pat O'Melia here. You there? Why do the show? Was you there? I try to inform you, educate you, entertain you a little bit, keep you up to date on things. Got a little bit of a busy show. Some serious stuff, some lighthearted stuff. Let's start with some of the serious stuff. Last week, Jersey Journal on May the 10th ran an advertisement for the Jersey City Planning Board for an area in need of redevelopment, what they called a scatter. I got it written here. I should look at the notes. A scatter study for the area. And the area pretty much encompasses all of Central Avenue. The lowest address I've seen on the list was 233 Central Avenue. And the highest, I think, was 518 Central Avenue. That takes me pretty much from Manhattan Avenue by the Stop and Shop all the way to the park on North Street. Now, I really doubt if we're going to demo and redevelop the entire east side. Well, maybe it's both sides. Who knows? Of Central Avenue. But there's something in the offering. That's why they're doing this scatter study. Now, I don't know a lot about this. I'll make some phone calls during the week. But something is afoot if we're going to do a study. A while back when Michael Yoon was alive and he was a council person in Ward D, my ward, there was a study where they were going to demo from Griffith Street pretty much up to Bowers. I think the only thing that was going to survive was Mike's office, which was the Garden State News. Everything else was going to be demoed. There, we're going to have a big apartment building and a parking lot there. And we're going to have a parking garage. There'll be parking for everyone. And of course, there will not be parking for everyone. The parking garage will accommodate the people who live in the apartment complex that is proposed. So we'll see how that all goes. But this is far more reaching than that project that, again, was from Griffith Street up to Bowers. This is going from 233 Central, like I said, basically Central and Manhattan Avenue, all the way to Central and North Street. They're doing a story in an area in need of redevelopment. That's kind of like the buzzword that we're going to come and demo. And we're going to offer you, we'll do the eminent domain, we'll offer you a value, or we'll designate a developer, and you'll deal with that developer, and if it doesn't work out, we will take your property by eminent domain for better public use. I'll make some calls during the week to find out exactly what this is, and I'll get back to you on that, hopefully next week when we do the City Show, to find out exactly what a scatter study is. Now, what we're going to talk about today, Pompidou. Pompidou is going to be in the news for quite a while. It turns out Pompidou is projected to operate at about a $19 million loss a year. Now, as I reported, and you probably read, the state is threatening to pull the funding for Pompidou. There's a lot of politics involved. And with the math, there's a lot of reason involved. Then we're going to talk about the Jersey City budget. They just turned in the budget. It has a tax increase of 1.9%, which ain't too shabby. We'll get into that, why I'm not all upset about a 1.9. And then we're going back to my roots in media. We're going back to radio. I'm bringing radio capabilities into the studio. We'll go on to that and all that and more. We're going to break for commercial. You're watching The City Show. I'll be right back.
Jersey City Medical Center is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County because your heart doesn't beat just for you. So get it checked. When your bones are healthy, it lifts us all. We're delivering joy daily in our Lord Abbott Maternity Wing and providing New Jersey's only NCI-designated comprehensive cancer center. We'll continue building our medical network and taking every precaution for your safety so that we can all be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
We're back. You're watching The City Show. Pat O'Meara, you're here. Don't forget the stuff on the bottom of the screen. Love us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter. Live stream Vimeo. That's where we archive all our programming. Business at hand. Pompidou, the French museum that is projected to open on Journal Square in 2026. I think we're about to say it's never going to happen. But Mayor Fulop is very strongly behind this project. Don't discount Mayor Fulop getting this done. But the balance sheet is coming into focus now on Pompidou. And it's kind of frightening. Now, again, as I said last week, all these art centers, they lose money. These cultural art centers, they all lose money. This is a degree of how much money. They never break even. I know the Paper Mill Playhouse almost went broke. Bergen Pack had to go to the county. All of them have issues. I don't know, about $19 million a year issue. Pompidou is projected to lose that much a year. Besides the obvious political problems regarding the $60 million plus that was set aside by the state of New Jersey for Pompidou, $60 million plus in state funding, you're looking at $19 million a year loss. That is a staggering number. Projected $19 million a year, that's a tough one. The state of New Jersey asked the Jersey City Redevelopment Agency to explain how they're going to deal with the projected $19 million a year. Keep in mind, the state's already going to pull the $60 million plus that they put $30 million aside one year, $30 million aside the next year. And there's some political intrigue. We covered on this where Mayor Fulop had endorsed Tammy Murphy, the wife of the governor of New Jersey, Phil Murphy. Then he switched his endorsement to Andy Kim before he got the $60 million. So kind of brought this on himself. So the city has sent a reply to the New Jersey Economic Development Authority on how they're going to deal with the $19 million deficit, a yearly deficit. And how they're going to deal with it consists of $8 million in New Jersey state tax credits, $2.25 million in state of New Jersey grants that would be matched by the city. Right there, you got $14.5 million, right? What am I saying? $12.5 million alone between the state and New Jersey. No matter how you look at state credit, tax credits, grants, it's all comes from a tax bucket, a tax pot. And then Mayor Fulop's looking for donations, very large donations. Right now, he's got $12.5 million between the state and the city. This is the same agency, by the way, that's threatening to pull the money. The same state, by the way, as I should say. And he's looking for donations, very large donations, to make up the difference. Those are very big donations, where you're looking at, $7-8 million in donations a year. Maybe if you can donate a car, whether it's running or not. Maybe you have some real estate you can donate to the city. Maybe a boat. Maybe the city starts a GoFundMe. But things are looking pretty dim for Pompidou. When you submit a proposal to cover the $19 million shortfall yearly that hinges on the same state of New Jersey that is threatening to pull the $60 million, and they're threatening it because they don't believe you can cover the $19 million operating loss, and you're planning on covering the $19 million operating loss with $12.5 million in state and city tax dollars, I don't think the state is going to go for that. Like I said, you already have political intrigue here. There could be denials left and right all you want. There is political intrigue involved. But when you're proposing to use $12.5 million a year in state and city tax dollars, whether you're getting tax credits or it's tax grants, it's still coming from that same pot. That's not a good plan. I doubt, unless there is some seismic accounting and political change of heart, that Pompidou and Jersey City will ever be a go. The dollars are just too great. And I think I said last week, the only way I don't see how the city's even seeing 4 million in ticket sales, unless, like I said last week, we're going to do what the Liberty Science Center does and take kids in buses every day and drag them down to the Liberty Science Center and charge the Board of Education X amount of dollars. Many boards of education, by the way. I was never a Pompidou guy. I understand what Mayor Fulop was trying to do. He wants the jewelry for Jersey City. He wants a destination attraction here in Jersey City and in the Northeast and for the state of New Jersey. I was never a big Pompidou proponent, but I understand what the mayor is trying to do. Back a while back when the Jets were looking for a practice facility in New Jersey, Jerry Healy, the mayor then, was all out. It would have been great jewelry for the city. We'd lose money, yes. And like I said before, you're going to lose money on any kind of cultural arts center. It's going to happen. The Lowe's Theater, the renovations we're doing, we're going to lose money on that. It depends on how much money we're going to lose a year. $19 million is a tremendous amount of money. Now, Fulop is a finance guy. He's going to have to come up with another plan besides depending on $12.5 million between state dollars and city dollars. But the bottom line here is what was Fulop thinking? And the problem with Fulop, sometimes he's too honest for his own good. You had $60 million that you didn't get yet sitting in a bank in New Jersey, Trenton, New Jersey, from the state for your Pompidou Museum. And you elect to change your endorsement from the governor of New Jersey's wife, Tammy Murphy, to Andy Kim. Now, he morally and rightfully, he was probably right. But when there's $60 million on the table, I think you just sit quiet, but he didn't do that. So the bottom line, the fault lies with Fulop. It's a question of what were you thinking of? His honesty probably cost us the Pompidou Museum. All right, we're going to break for commercial. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Jersey City budget. You're watching The City Show. We'll be right back.
I've got cancer.
We've got the highest level of cancer care,
the latest clinical trials,
researchers working to find a cure,
and nurse navigators to guide you every step of the way.
At New Jersey's only NCI-designated Comprehensive Cancer Center, your safety has always been our top priority.
I've got cancer, but I also have peace of mind.
Jersey City Medical Center and Rutgers Cancer Institute of New Jersey. Let's beat cancer together.
Good Friend Self Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
We're back. City Show. Pat O'Melia here. You there? After beating up Fulop on Pompidou, let's give Fulop some props here. The city of Jersey City has come in with its municipal budget. Comes in at the tune of $724 million. That is a lot of money. And when you put it alongside the Board of Education budget of $1 billion plus, it's a lot of money to run this city. The budget comes with a 1.9% tax increase. Now, normally we'd all be 9.1, almost 2%. My God, how expensive is the city getting? That is a problem. The city is getting very expensive. And somewhere along the line, we're going to take a hard look on how you're going to cut the cost of the city. Because the first thing that causes expenses is the property taxes. But considering everything that's going into this budget and the economic environment we're in and the inflation, 1.9% is pretty damn good. And when you look at that with the, finally, county taxes going down, I think about 1.3, 1.4% for Jersey City, it almost becomes a push. With all the uncontrollable expenses that go into this budget right off the bat, it is health benefits. You see it yourself, how the price of health benefits are rocketing, even with, the Affordable Care Act. They're still rocketing. New Jersey got into the insurance business. They're still going up. Their cities, municipalities are trying to figure out, how are we going to cover this? Should we go into our own system? Should we get out of the state system? All these questions are on the table. Then you look at the price of fuel. You see every police car, every DPW vehicle, they're all running fuel of some sort. Whether it's gasoline, whether it's diesel, whether it's propane. I know Mayor Fulop is shifting over, is trying to electric, but electric is expensive too. And we don't really have the grid there. I got a lot of questions with electric vehicles from the weight, but that's a whole nother story. It's so heavy, these vehicles. They take so long to charge, especially for personal use. Insurance, any type of insurance the city has, has gone up. You see it in your homeowner's insurance. You see it in your car. The car insurance went up 20%. Maybe the state should look at that and say, in the old days, the state used to have state insurance. Maybe we should go back to those days. But you look at anything with an interest rate on bond ratings or any kind of loans the city has, the interest rates are up high. I'm amazed at Mayor Fulop and the council managed to hold it at 1.9%. Now, it's easy to say, couldn't they just cut it by 2%? And you think, well, 2%, why not? Like Lee Iacocca once said, I can cut any budget 10%. Well, just a 2% cut on that $724 million budget comes out to $14.5 million. Explains why you just can't cut the 2%, because 14.5 is a lot of money. It is a very expensive city. And until we get a handle, and it's not all the city's fault, but there's fault in the city as to why it's so expensive here. It's a national problem we have. Somewhere along the line, we got to rethink municipal and state services. We just can't keep piling it on. And when people say, well, there's going to be an increase on businesses, or there's going to be this proposal now, $1 billion increase on businesses, well, that trickles down into you. Whatever you're buying, you want to put a price on gasoline, it's going to trickle down to the price per gallon. Whatever it is, whether it's bread or furniture, whatever it is, whatever they say, well, it's only going to be on the business. No, it's on you. Everything becomes more expensive that way. We've got to sit back and figure out how we can honestly cut the cost. Now, Mayor Fulop, you've seen his modulars he talks about as he's running for governor. Got some good ideas. Can he pull these things through? One thing that we seriously need to do in Jersey City, we have to start, and it starts locally before we can start statewide or federally. Shared services. We have to do as much as we can to do shared services, whether we're sharing, whether Hoboken or Union City sharing with us or vice versa, whatever the case it is. Any way we can cut the expense to the people of Jersey City, we need to do that, and the people of Hudson County. Any way we can do work in-house instead of writing a check. And I said this many times, it's so easy to write a check when you're not the one paying for it. Yeah, that's a problem. We need to start doing more in-house. The city needs to develop new revenue streams. And it got to be streams that if you don't use the service, you shouldn't have to pay for it. The city should be making a fortune on parking here in Jersey City. We don't. Little North Bergen, New Jersey makes a good buck on parking. They have more municipal parking lots than we do in Jersey City. Think about that. Little North Bergen, Township of North Bergen, has more municipal parking lots than we do in Jersey City. And that's a constant stream of revenue. Driveways in Jersey City. If you have a driveway, you are very fortunate. You're going to go home and you're going to park in your driveway. But that spot on the street where your driveway apron is, that's a parking spot taken away from the neighborhood, taken away from the city. It's no longer because that's the apron of your parking driveway. I can see a $600 a year fee if you have a driveway. I would be very happy to pay a $600 a year fee to park in front of my house. I can't because I don't have a driveway. I have the room, but we still have a moratorium going back into the early 2000s that I can't put a driveway in. I would love to put a driveway in. If I could, I'd put it in tomorrow. And I would have no problem paying $600 a year. Think of all the driveway. There are tons of cars in Jersey City. Yeah, I don't want to get to bike people all riled up. They always say, well, only 40% of the people in Jersey City, residents of Jersey City, own cars. Well, when you're throwing the residents of Jersey City and you're counting 6 years old, that might be true. But if you go from 17 and up, I'll probably say about 75% of people in Jersey, 75% of people in Jersey City have cars. There's cars all over Jersey City. We should be making money on that. I'm a car guy. I would have no problem paying $600. I'm having the comfort of being, no, I'm going to park in front of my house every night. To me, that's worth $600. We need revenue streams, and we need to do shared services. We need the revenue stream that you don't have to pay for if you're not enjoying that service. One of those things are driveways. Something we need to look at. We need to start cutting the expense here in Jersey City to the average person. Property taxes go right to your rent. Everything is related. We need to start knocking down expenses, shared services, new revenue streams. And again, I want to commend the City Council, Mayor Fulop, and all the department heads for holding the budget this way, that it only went up 1.9%. Pretty damn good budget. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're watching The City Show. I'll be right back.
Jersey City Medical Center has a passion for heart health. We're Hudson County's only full-service heart hospital, with innovative technologies and premier cardiovascular physicians, a partnership with Rutgers Health, the latest technology and medical advancements, and nationally renowned care for every heart in every community. Whoever your heart beats for, our hearts beat for you. Jersey City Medical Center.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Jersey City Medical Center is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County because your heart doesn't beat just for you. So get it checked. When your bones are healthy, it lifts us all. We're delivering joy daily in our Lord Abbott Maternity Wing and providing New Jersey's only NCI-designated comprehensive cancer center. We'll continue building our medical network and taking every precaution for your safety so that we can all be healthy together.
We're back. You're watching The City Show. Pat O'Melia here. Now do a little lighthearted stuff. We did Pompidou, and we did the tax increase. But again, I commend the mayor, the council, and all the department heads for holding at 1.9%. And the county commissioners for giving Jersey City a break on the county taxes. Now, if you only get something going with the Board of Education, we're in pretty good shape for the year. I'm going back to my roots in media. I started out in the early 1990s in wrestling radio. I hosted the Wrestling Tonight radio show with my daughter, Evelyn, and my nephew, Tony. They were wrestling fans. I was the personality. I was kind of like the referee, the director of the show. And we did that show for a very long time. We went from Wrestling Tonight. It was only so much I was going to do with kids. I wanted to do more in radio. And as the kids were starting to go off to college, it was just me. They were going on with their life. So I developed the Jersey City Show. We went from wrestling to the Jersey City Show. I'm going back to my roots. We're bringing the radio station aspect into my studio. As I mentioned before, I'm working with high school students, juniors and seniors. We're working with North Bergen High School and Hudson County Schools of Technology, where hopefully these kids with 2 years from me, their junior and senior years, and I think a couple of sophomores have snuck into our program, by the way. After those 2 years with me, hopefully, if they elect to continue their education, they'll have a gig reel, they'll have their names on credit rolls on the program, for that matter. If you watch John Highness's Hudson County View Live from last week, if you look at the credit rolls, there's my North Bergen kids. When you look at the next Hudson Health you're going to be seeing, and then when we finish editing that, you'll see the Hudson County School, the technology kids there. These are things they can put with their transcript, and hopefully they get a scholarship. If they don't elect to continue their education, we have major motion picture studios opening here in New Jersey. Cinelease in Jersey City is already open. You got Lionsgate in Newark. You got 1888 Studios in Bayonne. You got Netflix and Monmouth County. Those 2 years, by the time those other studios open, hopefully my kids will be trained well enough that they can get employment there. Another aspect I want to give these kids is the radio. I want to have these kids go out and cover their baseball games, their football games, their basketball games, and they're going to call it on the radio. Like you're listening to Knicks. You listen to the Knicks in the playoffs. You listen to radio, basketball, and football, and baseball. They really lend themselves to radio. The thing is, we need to make it portable. And we're going to go with Live 365. You'll hear us on the radio, on your phone, on your Alexa. All these devices, you'll be able to listen to my kids. And everything's portable for that matter. In the box over to my left is this super Verizon MiFi hotspot that I pay good bucks for. It's a 5G service. As long as there's 5G service in the area, my kids will be able to tap into it. We'll get a couple lightweight chairs and a table, and the kids will be calling the balls and strikes and all. But we have this in the studio. Now, I mentioned to John Hines and Fernando Uribe, two of my divas in the studio. Of course, John does Hudson County Live, Hudson County View Live, and Fernando does Fernando's Talking Politics, about doing a wrestling radio show. Again, I come from the world of wrestling. When I started the show on 1050 WEVD. Then we went to WJDM 1530. And then we went to NJR 1430 with the wrestling. And when I returned, well, we did not return. When I was transitioning from wrestling to the Jersey City Show, we stayed on NJR. And we did the Jersey City Talking Show. And on Wednesdays, it was the Hudson County Talking Show. Unfortunately, the Yankees took my time slot for a Spanish language on NJR, and the station said we have to let you go, even though he had a contract. And I told him, listen, you got an opportunity to get the Yankees season plus the playoffs. That'd get rid of me too, and that's how I got into television. I'm looking forward to going back into radio. We have all the equipment now. I just got to sign the programming agreement with Verizon for the Wi-Fi, and we'll get that set. I'm a radio guy. It's you, a microphone, a mixer, an audio mixer, probably a couple extra mics now because you're going to be interviewing people. We look forward to it. I know the kids are going to enjoy this, the high school kids. Some of these kids want to be in radio. They want to be on WFAN. So this is a good opportunity for them. And I got great kids. What we're doing in the studio, this is just another aspect. These kids will be doing the podcast. They'll be doing the radio shows. We're going to hopefully I get these kids trained up well enough on our video switching. They'll be doing their graduation for North Bergen. But we're starting to put together the shows that these kids are going to be concentrating on. We're also in pre-production now on Best and Brightest, working title for the North Bergen High School, the kids who are going off to college who've got scholarships. So my kids will be interviewing those kids who received the scholarships. They'll talk about their 4 years in North Bergen High School, the teachers that helped them the most, the goods and bad about the high school experience and all. These are all the things we're training the kids to do. I'll start to have them do some updates. Like I said, they'll do the podcast. Going into next year, they're going to have regular shows. We're going to have regular high school centric to a degree, but I want to get out of that and have these kids producing shows, whether it's video or audio, radio, and podcast, that isn't just high school. So when they're sending their gig reels and their transcripts to the college administrator, university administrator, I don't want them looking at everything that's another high school thing. I want to have these kids developing programs that are out of their comfort zone with the high school. We'll probably do some good government things. We'll work with some of the politicians. We'll do town halls. There'll be a lot these kids are doing. But we're going back to radio, and John Hines and Fernando Uribe, those two guys will be hosting a wrestling radio show because both of them are wrestling marks. So that'll be interesting to watch. Oh, in this case, interesting to listen to. All right, we're out of show. You be good. You be safe. I'll talk to you next week. Good night.